Hi everybody, welcome to Office Hours. It's 15th of June 2023. We're joined of course by Angelo.
Hey guys and girls.
Yeah. So for anybody that's watched last week's Office Hours, this was the chart we ended on, which was BNB USDT. And I proposed the trade using Level Hunter and some of our other indicators. This is the RSI and the DMI. And on BNB, which was crashing at the time. And this is the BNB daily. And so we had this hard crash to here. And then we put in an entry using Level Hunter. Let me just scroll way out. Using this level here, around 240. Oh no, sorry, this level here. Yeah, so where it had bounced off here. Around 267, that is. And we were at around 260, yeah. So we put in our entry at 267, hoping for a little bounce up, and then put in our exit or take profit level using this level here at 240, and a stop loss using, where did that level come from? Oh yeah, using these levels here.
Nice trade.
This one at 275, and it played out. Well, almost.
What's the risk to reward?
It was
Oh, nice.
2.8.
Almost 3.
Yeah, so
Critical.
uh, maybe if we got in a bit late, we might have had to bring our entry down a little bit because the end of the day closed here, and then following that, we never quite got it back to this 267 level. But I believe this got to what is that? 264. So even 265, but it's a very, very close. And if you got this entry and then you rode it down, and it easily hit this level with a 10% decline, and actually surpassed it a little bit. And then it's come back up, and then it's been testing this level on and off ever since. So this 240 level is holding strong, and I believe that if we scroll out, yeah, it's the same level as was here, and here, and then it was resistance here. So this is quite a powerful level, and it's testing it again now. So that was a big success, actually. Going with this downward momentum, we had the bear dog candles on Candle Hunter. We had downward momentum on the RSI. The other thing that was concerning, and upward momentum on the ADX here. Yeah, so nice trade. Very pleased with that. And you can see that we've still got these bear dog candles, these bright pink candles coming down here. Obviously, I do believe Binance is still in a bit of hot water, to put it mildly.
The weekly looks scary.
Let's take a look at the weekly.
There's a lot of fresh air below there.
This is a big red candle, and we have another level. The next level down is 215, which we almost touched on. So that's coming from, when is this? June 2022. Yeah, so 215. So if you were to take a short trade again, going with this downward momentum, that could be another option. Get your entry in at 240. I don't know what the price is trading at. Get your entry in at 240 and get your exit at 215 potentially. Where are we trading now? 232. Yeah. So that could potentially be another nice short position here. So let me just put these windows down. Okay, just in case, I'm going to do a lot of trading view stuff today. So I'm actually going to show you how you do this. I'm just going to move this in. Oh. So this is going to be a bit of a trading view tutorial. So how do we do these little box thingies? Well, we go over onto the left here, and you have these kind of 3 lines here, and then these are called forecasting and measurement tools. So in the toolbar on the left, you click the little arrow guy here, and then you have different forecasting like patterns that you can use. I only really use the long position and the short position. So we're going to take a short position, so I'm going to click here, and then I'm going to click on today, which is when we're going to take it, and it's going to open this bar. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set because we're going short, so the green is profit and the red is loss, as is tradition. And I'm going to set the profit target, by clicking this little round thing here, and dragging it down to my target, which is going to be 215. And where would we put the stop loss? You could put it back up this level where we started last time, 262, but you see the risk reward here is 1, which is not very good. That's basically you're saying you're going to do a coin flip, and you should just not take a trade if the RR is 1. We could take a level somewhere in between, perhaps at the top of this wick from the previous day.
Yeah, if you want to play it safe, because you now have 2 barriers, the yellow horizontal line, and you can use the wick of the previous candle.
Yeah. So perhaps we'll just bring this back so we can measure that out properly. Yeah, so that's at around 250. That's a nice round number. So there we go. This is our trade. And you can see on this previous one, let me just adjust my chart here. As the trade plays out, it kind of fills in the background, or I guess the foreground in this case, and draws a line to where the actual price is. And then when it completes, you get some more information. So, yeah, the stop, closed, there you go, in the middle. It says closed, profit and loss, 25.9. Yeah, sometimes these numbers don't make a huge amount of sense, but yeah, you can kind of there's a lot of tuning and settings that you can do with this, but that's the basics of it. And the good thing about this is it'll just stay there. I'm going to set this to next week, which is the 22nd. So we can drag this out. Okay, and we're going to see if this nice short trade, another 10% down. Risk reward is about 2, which is okay. 5% increase, and but we've got to sort of hope that we get our entry at this point, because at the moment the price seems to be coming down. There is another option here, so that would be a reasonable short trade, I think. The other option is we've got these bear dog candles, which are these bright pink candles. We could wait. So this is an indication that it's very hotly trending down, right? So the downtrend is super, super hot, quite violent. We could wait and then trade the bounce off the bottom. So essentially we're going to try and find the bottom. So what we do there is a strategy that we're calling the bear dog break. We also have the bulldog break on the other side, which would be we would wait for the first candle that isn't pink. So we've had lots and lots of pink candles. Wait for the first candle that isn't pink, and then enter a long trade. This is higher risk, but you can get a nice. It's trading the reversal off the bottom. So let me just see if I can find a nice example on this chart. Here we go. Just gonna scroll in here. Yeah, so we have a similar situation played out in June 2022. A series of hot pink candles coming down here, and then the trend reversed. So this first candle that broke is this big green candle here. When that closed, that would have closed not in this pink color, and you could say we would call that a bear dog break here. Maybe I'll get my little paintbrush here. So when that candle closed on the 19th of June, almost exactly a year ago, coincidence, interesting coincidence, then there was a short rally upwards. So you could enter your trade on this break and then find another level. Obviously this hit it dead on. Another level at 240 to another level at 240 to close the trade. Oh,
It's a nice range.
yeah. Do you have any other suggestions for strategies?
What I would like to say when we're now looking at the daily at the bear dog candles, and if you want to spot a reversal, what you can do is you go from the daily to the 4 hour, and then you are trying to try to find a situation where the trend might be reversing. So
Yeah.
like the bottom valley indicator that we're seeing right now. What did it show on the daily? What was the situation there?
So I think that was this. That
Oh
was
yeah, yeah,
basically this bottom here.
yeah.
Yeah. So
So if zoom in, and then if you see a reversal happening, in this case on the 4 hour, um, then you can enter a position quicker.
yeah, yeah. So we can see that we're in this sort of strong downtrend, pretty steady one there. But we had the same thing here, and then a reversal, and then you could trade this reversal up here. Bit higher risk. Obviously, it's not going to be huge percentages, but if you're, I guess you would have to do leverage trading on this. So not for beginners, absolutely. So only do that if you really know what you're doing.
But
But you
look,
can use this for spotting the reversal, right? Can't you? So
yeah,
if we start getting we're coming down here with a bunch of red candles. If we start getting green candles printing here, then that could be a sign that we're going to get the reversal on the daily, which would be much more significant than the one on the 4 hour. Stronger.
yeah. Basically, we still. I'm looking at my own charts. It's still lower lows.
Yeah.
And also, if you turn on the alligator, you can see that the 8 EMA is still pushing the price down. So the price is so weak that it can't even go to the 8 EMA.
So in Candle Hunter we have our alligator built in, so you can just scroll down and click here. And you can see that we've got, even on the 4 hour, we've got this big fat red alligator, and the bottom of the alligator is providing resistance to these candles. So downtrend is more continuing to be likely. Yeah, so if you can get a nice short entry, the question on this is where you would get your entry for the best risk to reward. But if you can get your entry, I think this would be a really nice trade. Yeah, so that's follow up for BNB. Let's just check BNB against BTC, which is another thing we looked at last week. I'm going to look on the daily. So, interesting. So the bounce was much more violent here. We've got the crash, 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 and then we've got this bullish engulfing candle. So actually it's rebounded. With respect to BTC, BNB has rebounded quite strongly. Let me get the ruler. So that's a 10% bounce off the bottom, if you manage to get that. There's sort of no reason to believe that this would be the bottom on this daily chart, but we can check the
Look
4
at the
hour.
dynamite.
I know, yeah. Yeah, we were talking about that last week. So we can look at the 4 hour. We got this downtrend, 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 and then we got on the 12th this valley candle printing with this green candle here. So this is what I'm talking about, bear dog break. So bear dog candles, pink, 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 pink candles here. First green candle is here. Coupled with a valley signal is a really powerful power couple. And so you would get your entry at 00009, whatever that would be. And let me just draw in this trade here. Long position at 009. Maybe you set your stop loss to the bottom here, and then your target, well, I don't know where you would set your target, but yeah, so you could get a nice 10% trade on the rebound with this bear dog candle coupled with this valley candle. Yeah, that would be a nice sort of rebound trade. What's the word for that? A retracement?
Retracement, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
Yeah, and that's also what you want to do if you are getting a valley indicator. You don't want to trade them blindly, but you always try to find confluence with other, like in this case,
Yeah.
a green candle.
Yeah.
Or
So we have that exact problem here, right? So we're in
yeah,
this strong downtrend. The trend eased off temporarily, which gave us a valley candle, because the valley
yeah,
candle is basically saying,
yeah. Basically, two things happen when you print a valley indicator. It's or you're going to consolidate for a while and then move further down, or you have a true reversal. It's basically
yeah,
those two things.
yeah. So it consolidated a little bit and then carried on. But then here, but there was no sort of nothing going along with this. It was just the valley candle on its own.
Hmm.
If you were lucky enough to get in right at the start before the crash, let's say at 0.11 up here, this would be an excellent signal to take profit, right? So you're coming down, you're winning, 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 get the valley candle. This would be an excellent take profit level. So take some money off the table, and then you can continue riding it down. And then with this sort of much stronger signal, which is this big green candle, valley, and the bear dog break, those three things together, that would be a really strong signal to get out of your short trade. Yeah.
By the way, we have a couple of strategies in the free Big Dog Labs trading course on the Discord channel.
Okay.
So
Nice.
make sure you check them out.
Yeah. Make sure you check them out. Oh dear. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. So yeah, right, let's have a look at Bitcoin. Good old Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's the kingmaker. Oh,
Yeah.
look at that.
I
Oh,
posted
we
it
nailed
today.
it again. Angelo, look at that. Oh, it makes me so happy when we get these. Oh, I keep saying it. I made this indicator.
I saw it yesterday evening, and I posted it in the trading channel.
Oh, I made this indicator thinking, there's no way this works. There's no way this works. And then when you see it working, it's just like, oh, yes. Of course, I was asleep while it was working. But, yes.
Pretty
So,
powerful.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I'm shocked. Every time it works, I am shocked. That's crazy. Okay, so let me just clean up this chart a little bit. Get rid of our alligator. Zoom in. So I've probably explained this before, but in Candle Hunter we have these firecracker candles. And basically what they are saying is that the ADX, which is another indicator, I can bring that up here because it's part of the DMI, this white line. So when this white line is very, very low, it essentially means that the trend is very, very low. So the price is neither moving up nor down in any significant way. And we like to call this, it's like lighting a fuse. So when the trend is very, very low, it's like you've lit the fuse and you're waiting for it to pop, which is why we call them firecracker candles. The problem is that we don't know which direction it's going to go in. So the ADX doesn't provide any direction, it's just trend. The strength of a trend doesn't matter which direction it's going in. So we have no idea which way it's going to go. And these candles often will precede big moves. So I'll have it on this little pop-up here. Often precedes a big move in one direction or another. Because it's like you've lit the fuse, everybody's, especially if there's volume, right? So in Candle Hunter, I always use the volume filter, which only shows candles. It'll only pop up the icons when you've got a higher volume than average for the previous period, right? So maybe let's just bring the volume onto the indicators too, so we can see that. So if you imagine that there's a reasonably high volume here compared to previous days, it doesn't look like it, but reasonably high volume, but the trend isn't going anywhere. So people are trading, but it's not moving the price, which is, those two things don't really fit together very well. And so you would think at some point someone's going to give, either the sellers or the buyers are going to give up. They're not just going to keep trading against each other. At some point it's going to move, but we don't know which way it's going to go. In this case, you would probably be a reasonable person to bet on a downwards direction. So let's bring the alligator back. We need to establish maybe what the trend was. So we like to use that alligator. And you can see we've had a red alligator consistently coming down, so a nice downward trend. The trend was narrowing up a little bit, but still clearly in the red. And with these candles, red alligator, with these firecracker candles, which Angelo correctly spotted the other day, and then bang, this big fat red candle. So that is it's a 3, well, to the bottom it's a 4% drop. So you could have had potentially a nice 5% trade here on the 4 hour. And then again, we've got these very hot pink candles, but also a hammer candle. So, you know, it's definitely a strong downward trend. How far down will it go? Well, we can think about that.
If you look at the weekly,
Mm-hmm.
so basically two things are happen now. Can you zoom out a little bit?
Yep. I'm just gonna hide the volume.
So we just broke. We were in a falling wedge. Maybe you can.
In this recent one.
Yeah, we just broke to the bottom, and on the weekly we have that inverse head and shoulders, and we are almost touching the neckline. It's at 24,476, and if we are going to get a bounce there, because we are still printing a green alligator on the weekly, but if we are going to lose the neckline, then we are really into trouble, because that's a major area we have to defend.
Yes, so let's just bring up Level Hunter. See what Level Hunter's got to say for this. Just keep it on the defaults. Just like this.
Because it really looks scary down there.
So there's this interesting feature of Level Hunter if you open the settings, which I like to use, which is Extend All, which basically extends all of the levels from all time. It looks crazy, but it's kind of interesting. So you can see now on the weekly where you're in this kind of no man's land between 32,000 and or 33,000 rather, and 16,000, sorry. So these are very, very strong levels. But these more intermediate levels haven't even been picked up by level hunters. So what we will do is go onto the daily. Oh wow, this is way too many levels. Okay, that was useful for the weekly, but not on the daily. Okay, here we go. So we have a level at 25,000. So Alt H, useful keyboard shortcut. Alt H. There we go. And we have one here, 21. Kind of an old one there. This one. And this one. So on the downside, where are we? We're basically at 25k, right? More or less. So that's, knocking on this resistance line, or support line, I should say, around 25k. And I think this is what you were talking about, right, Angelo? So this is kind of the shoulder over here from February, this little peak here. And then his head is up at 30,000 up here. And then we're forming potentially forming the second shoulder here. So this would be at 25k, and so you can imagine if this is going to be symmetrical, a nice, really perfect head and shoulders, then we can look for a drop probably back down to this neckline. Is that what you would call it, or what?
I meant the inverse head and shoulders.
Okay.
You can see it on a weekly, and the head is around. Oh, there you can see where you have your mouse indicator right now. That's the head. Yeah,
Okay.
that's the head.
Yeah.
Left shoulder and right shoulder.
What, here?
And no. Way down. That's the head. Yeah, you go a little bit. Yeah, left shoulder, a little bit on top. That's right shoulder. And if you draw a horizontal line on the top candle of the left and the right shoulder, that's the neckline. And
okay, so that's this like 20,000 line.
yeah.
Kinda. Yeah.
So
okay.
a lot of eyes are on the neckline at the moment. And also, we just lost a very psychological level, the 25k.
Yeah. Yeah, so we could certainly imagine a move down. Just get my a move down here to 20k. There's a couple of intermediate levels on the way, but breaking through this 25k more or less, and then dropping back down to the 20k. I think I described this exact scenario but in reverse last week, going from the 20k to the 25, and now, hey, we might just do the opposite. So, yeah.
And the sad part is, if you just look at the S&P and the traditional markets, they're all doing great right now.
Oh, really?
This is pure through the thought of Binance, the SEC.
Okay, let's do it. Let's click here. All stocks.
If we didn't have this FUD, we would already be back at 30k.
I guess it's an index, right?
Yeah, SPX.
SPX, there is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at it, so strong.
Yeah, I mean, look. Phew. Yeah, so if we zoom out here, so this is the S&P 500, and we have this nice green alligator going upwards, so much so that we've got this hot blue bulldog candles. So hopefully everyone's pension funds are doing very well. But I think a lot of this is powered by tech stocks, right?
Yeah.
So I almost never do stock analysis, so I'm a little out of my depth here, but let's just go for it. Nvidia. I've heard a lot about Nvidia recently. They've got their new GPUs that are selling very, very hot. And you can see they have this shooting star here that's then coming down for this reversal, but the bulldog candles are continuing. Yeah, well, look at that. That is up only, really.
ASML, the Dutch company, really strong.
ASML.
They also get into the AI chips.
ASML Holding? I don't know this company at all, but
They make computer chips for basically everything, also for weapons, and they had to make a deal with America that they can't deliver the chip developing machines to China anymore.
oh, okay.
Only the old ones.
Hmm. Yeah, this is kind of a hot topic, isn't it?
Mhm.
Okay, let's just close that again. Um, take a look at Apple. Of course, they've got their new product out.
Yeah, wow.
Apple also up only since the start of the year, and continuing to do so.
I believe they launched that
Yeah, the VR headset.
yeah, the new VR is it like $3,000 or so?
Yeah, 3,500.
Wow.
I was talking to my friend and I'm pretty sure he was probably going to get one. I was like, there's no way I would buy that. And he was kind of like, oh, it looks really cool though. I was like, well, I'll definitely have I want to
does
have
it
a
do?
go. Don't get me wrong, I want to have a go, right?
Yeah, sure.
If someone else buys it, I definitely want to have a go. But it's just like a very expensive toy to me, which is fun.
Okay, but
But
why is it so expensive? What can it do?
well, it's like a computer basically. It's like a miniaturized computer. It's got loads of sensors and stuff on it. So
Okay.
I mean, it's a complicated piece of technology, right? So
Yeah,
and they're a luxury brand, so you
true.
know they're not. It's like saying why a Rolex is so expensive. Well,
Yeah, but to be honest, I've got an iPhone and I'm never going to switch to another phone. It's so great to use, so easy.
I can't believe we're doing stocks.
Yeah, our indicators work on stocks too.
Just by the way, here we go.
Boom.
Boom. This is Meta, of course, which I have no idea why the stock price is going up since they're losing billions of dollars daily. But
I believe when we got that green alligator, I believe that was the day when they fired like 1,000 people or so.
oh, okay, great. That's great. Yeah, so they laid off a bunch of people, which made the market happy, I suppose. You know, so we'll yeah, the American stock market is kind of crazy. Anyway, let's not get into that. So
Slam.
yeah.
Wait. We are at a very interesting point because I'm seeing that mountain indicator right now, and it's looking like a double top ish. Can you pop up the RSI and the DMI?
I can.
Let's see if we can spot a reversal coming. Okay, so the RSI is still way oversold.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So we basically have a higher high on price, but if you look at the RSI, so we are having a lower high on the RSI, and on the DMI we went from a white to gray.
So the
So
trend is easing
yeah,
off a
it's
little bit.
weakening. Yeah.
This is the daily though. Let's go to the weekly. Sorry, yeah, the weekly's still very very hot.
Very
Getting
strong. Yeah.
higher highs. So, um, yeah,
Weekly is still good. Lots of upside potential still.
yeah. So, hopefully, this will recover everybody's. I say everybody's. everybody's pension plan from the crash earlier this year, just based on these tech stocks alone. Right, that's enough of stocks. I don't like stocks. Let's talk about crypto. I don't know why.
Yeah, because it's boring.
Stocks are boring.
Yeah. Just buy and hold.
Yeah. So, has anybody been in the chat? Let's have a look.
Yeah, we have. Oh, Robin is here. Hi,
Robin is here.
And Craig. Craig is always here.
Oh, Craig's always here. Okay. Robin, if you want us to look at a chart, just pop it in the chat. Cool. Any other charts of interest, Angelo? Oh, let's look at ETH. We totally skipped by ETH.
Yeah.
Not much to report. Oh no, I'm on the weekly here. I'm on the weekly. Yeah, it's dead set. So this is actually kind of interesting. I'm going to go back real quick. So this is actually kind of interesting in a way. The RSI is dead in the middle, which basically means there is no momentum. And the alligator is sort of flip-flopping about here, which again is a sign of change or, a potential coin flip. But
yeah, what's really important is on the RSI we lost the 50 level, so
exactly.
downwards momentum is.
So we've made a lower high on the RSI a few weeks ago at the end of May, and then the 50 line. So for momentum traders, the 50 line, which is the dead center of the RSI, is very, very important. So crossing up over the 50 line is bullish, and crossing down is bearish. This
Can you turn on the background color?
Sure. This yellow line that I have on my RSI, well, I think it's on the lab RSI, is an EMA of the RSI, so it kind of smooths out. The RSI is quite spiky, right? So it kind of smooths that out. And I like to think of this as the sort of true momentum of the 50. So if the yellow line crosses the 50 line in one direction, obviously it's a bit lagging, so there is that, but this is heading down now. So it's a little bit bearish in the short term. And you can see the RSI is still green here, but it's fading off.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, we've had the alligator has been providing some support over the past few weeks. And then boom, last week crashed through it, lost that support, and now have continued to crash beyond it. Yeah, let's just go to the daily. So here we're now oversold. The trend on the ADX has passed over our threshold at 25. So this is certainly trending downwards. We're actually getting our first bear dog candle. And the alligator is formed and is providing some resistance up here. And the RSI, of course, is flipped in the background, so we've gone from green to red. If I go here, let's zoom in again on the 4 hour. So we've had our bear dog candles over the few days. Got a bear dog break with not much of a rebound rally. So if you took this as a bear dog break trade, there wasn't really anything to back it up. This one would have been good. But here there isn't really anything to back it up, right? It's just changing from ending the bear dog breaks, and then it's like there isn't really any other factors going into it. We're not getting a valley candle or anything like that, so wouldn't be a great trade to take. Now we've had
it looks like we are going to copy the previous. So we had a sell-off, consolidation, sell-off, and probably some more consolidation.
Yeah, at least in the short term. You can see the DMI is basically demonstrating that we've got a hot crash, trend cools down while it consolidates, another hot crash, trend cools down as it consolidates, another hot crash. So ETH is sort of selling off in these like big chunks for some reason. That's the interesting thing about charts, is you don't actually need to know the specific reasons, but you can see that we're getting these kind of regular patterns, which might be an indication of something, some other force in the market. So someone or group of people is dumping quickly and hard, driving the price down, and then just chilling for a bit, and then dropping it again. What I would be looking for as well is on the RSI, we get obviously getting lows from these hot crashes, and then they're all kind of equal, right? So they're all crashing to this kind of level. It would be interesting if this was, so this is bearish. This is very, very bearish. So the every time it crashes, it sort of crashes as hard as it did the first time. What would be interesting is if it continues to crash, but the RSI doesn't drop as much, and we start getting a divergence, a bullish divergence. That would be a good bottom signal. But we're not getting that. We've got this hammer candle that came at the end of the crash here, but nothing here is talking about a reversal yet, to me. Let's bring up ETH BTC. So I like to bring up coins against Bitcoin because it kind of filters out whatever Bitcoin's doing.
Wow, a lot of dynamite. On the, oh, it's on the weekly. Okay. Wow.
So ETH is bleeding against BTC. On the day, oh, I'm on the 4 hour here. Sorry. Let's go back to the weekly. I'm actually going to hide the background. Wow.
Yeah.
That is a lot of dynamite. So what this is telling us, the trend, wow, the trend is really low. Really, really low. Wow. Okay. So this is telling us on the long-term time frame that ETH and Bitcoin are in lockstep. So when one moves, the other moves, and vice versa. Yeah. So they are more or less entirely correlated. Probably the whole market moves together. Let's see if this carries over to the daily. So even on the daily, yeah, I mean, you can see it's been flip-flopping for some time, and then we've finally lost it here. And now going into a pretty decent downtrend. Pretty okay downtrend. Yeah, so if you were to take a trade, let's just bring up Level Hunter. So we've got a level here at 0.6. I guess there's a level here. Oh, no, wrong button. What did I do? Oh no. I pressed the shortcut. Okay. Let's actually bring up Extendable. See what happens. Oh no, that's just too much. Well, is it though? Yeah. Okay. So we have a level here. So this level here, that from this bounce here. And do we have any others? No. So we're kind of again in this sort of no man's land. A good, I guess, short trade target, if you were to enter now, would be 0.6. Um, 0.67 on the upside. I mean, not a great trade, my opinion. but bearish anyway. Bearish.
Yeah, I'm spotting something on the weekly. If you can connect the wait, let me look at your screen. Can you yeah, weekly,
Mm-hmm.
and then double click on the screen. Okay, and then you can connect a trend line from the hammer candle on the left side.
Down here, yeah.
Yeah, and then just use the body of the candles.
Okay.
Yeah, connect. Go to the right, right. Connect all those candles. Yeah,
Those things I know right away up.
yeah. And this is you can see by the little wick that we are finding support right there. But I think if we close below that uh, support line, then we might even come down. Yeah, look at the strong level from the level hunter. I
Yeah,
think
point
that,
0.5.
yeah, that's going to be the next target if we are losing that level.
Yeah. Yeah, so obviously there's a level here. Let's draw it here. Horizontal levels. That level here. So yeah, a level at 0.6 and then a level at 6.3 rather. And a level at 0.53. So they're the two levels to watch to be crashing down. So it's always a bit of a bummer to just be looking at short trades.
Yeah.
So stocks are up, crypto's down. There you go.
Yeah, shame, really shame.
Right. So let's be optimistic and let's think to the future of when the bull market finally returns and you're like, wow, well, how can I make money in this bull market? You could just buy and hold, or you could use a wonderful new strategy, which needs a better name because currently it's called the Work in Progress Big Dog Labs Bitcoin Bull RSI ATR strategy. So we need to give it a good name, Angelo, if you can think of one.
Yeah.
But here it is. So, in TradingView, there are two types of indicators. If you go on just click indicators and you go to, let's say, community scripts. So these are just scripts that other people make. Most of them are normal, like this. Let's see if we can find one that is a strategy. Okay, this isn't really working. Let's look at my scripts, because I know I've done them. So these are the scripts that I've written, which is like a bunch. And most of them are normal, but we have a few, such as this one that we're going to talk about today, where it's got this little wavy line and then an up-down arrow. This means that it's a strategy. So these are written in a slightly different way, and what they are written to do is using TradingView's backtester. They have some code in them that interact with TradingView's backtester and that tell it when to enter and exit trades. So then you can backtest your code. It's not as easy as it sounds because the backtester is a little bit idiosyncratic, has some interesting features, but it's a good kind of estimate. And if you know what you're doing, you can tune it and make sure you get your parameters right to sort of make sure it's as realistic as possible. What this does is when you open TradingView and you open the indicator, then you get these little buy and sell signals printed on the chart where the code says to buy and sell. And you also get this analysis at the bottom. So the green line is the how well the strategy is doing. So green is good, obviously. And the blue line is the buy and hold equity. So you can see that this strategy beats the market. The problem with this pane is it goes from all time, right? So it goes from the beginning of Binance Bitcoin, right? So this isn't perfect because, you know, if you were trading back years and years ago, you know, there's been a lot of increase since then, especially in a long strategy. But we can even see since the start of the bull run and across the various crashes, this strategy has not lost money, which can't be said for everybody's trading strategy. And we also get some statistics. So these are based on the money is, you can take that with a grain of salt, but the number of trades, the amount of the trades that are profitable, and something that's called the profit factor, which is a measure of how much profit you make versus the losses. So of course you're going to get some losses, as in half these trades are losses. But so long as the losses are small and the profits are big, you're all good, right? So profit factor measures that. So 2.9 is pretty good, pretty good. And the drawdown as well. So especially if you're leverage trading, you'd want a very small drawdown. So a drawdown of 25% is not brilliant, but you can see from this chart that happened quite a while ago. You can click on this tab and you get the performance summary where it goes through, gives you all sorts of other data about this. Then you can see the list of trades as well. But what's another thing you can do, if you just click on settings and you go to properties. So this is where you can input sort of your parameters for the strategy to see if it works. So I'm just going to go back to the overview, click on the settings. So initial capital is what capital you put in. So that's where this number's coming from. If you put in $10,000, then you would have made 46,000. Then you can decide how much of your equity is going in, etc., etc. This is really important, right? So a lot of people, you see a lot of people on YouTube, they demonstrate the strategies, so, oh, amazing strategy, blah, 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 pullback strategies, yada, yada, yada. And they just don't use commission. So this isn't basically an estimate of of the commission that you'll pay on the trade, fees, slippage, etc., etc. As a sort of standard, we have this at 0.1 that kind of estimates it either way. Perhaps your fees will be larger, perhaps they'll be smaller, but I'll just set this to 0 and we can see how well it does. So in this strategy, it didn't actually make that much difference. It's a little bit more profitable, but not a lot more profitable. And we can set this to 1, and that'll eat into our profits, and hey, we're still profitable. Not as good, but you know, still reasonably profitable. So this is telling us that these trades are quite big. If you're getting a lot of profitable trades, but it's like many trades, but the profits are 0.1%, then as soon as you include commission, it's a loser, right? So so this is telling you that the trades that are profitable tend to make a decent return that at least cancels out the commission, which is really, really, really good. This is really good. There's a bunch of other settings that you can do, but I think initial capital, order size, and commission are the important ones for most people. Okay. So that's basically how the strategy tester works. So what I tend to do, the main number that I tend to look at is profit, total closed trades. So we want this number to be as big as possible, the number of trades, because the more data we have, the more reliable it is. So 27 is not great, and that's another downside of this strategy. It doesn't do many trades.
This is from 2000.
Yeah, this goes from, I don't even know when. I have to zoom out a lot. But what we can actually do is use a feature on the premium trading view, I think, called deep back testing. So I like to set this to the Bitcoin halving day, I think. 6th of June 2020, I think so. And then you can generate a report from a specific time period. And you can see, obviously, there's only been 16 trades in the last 3 years, but many of them are profitable, very little drawdown. Yeah, and it's a generally green line going upwards. So Are you going to become a millionaire with this? Probably not. But are you going to make some money? Yeah, probably. So the reason there's not been many trades is because I haven't even got into how this works. This indicator only works during a uptrend. So when this line is green, this stepped line here, that's the only time it will even take trades. So throughout 2021 and 2022, it didn't even take, well, it took this one trade here, didn't even take any trades because we were in this downtrend.
No, it only works. It's looking at the weekly. He's looking at a 20 EMA on a weekly time frame. So when price is above the 20 weekly, that's when Bitcoin is considered healthy.
Yeah.
And then it's going to look for buy opportunities. So
Yeah.
what we basically want to accomplish with this strategy, because a lot of people in our Discord always ask the same question: when is it safe to buy? So with this strategy, we want to accomplish two things. So if like people want to just buy Bitcoin, or it also works on ETH, and just know when to get out of the market, just to accumulate your bag. And also this strategy is also useful because when we are seeing on the regime filter that the Bitcoin market is getting unhealthy, then it's a great signal to get out of our altcoins or just take some profits.
Yeah, so when this red line is going down, so if you can see from the settings, we have the red line is using a high time frame, so we're looking at the daily, and this is the weekly time frame, the EMA from the weekly time frame. And
Yeah.
we've been playing with this, and that's the 20 EMA. And basically, if the price, it's very simple. If the price is above that, we say it's a bull market. If the price is below that, we say it's a bear market. We don't trade in a bear market. So, as Angelo said, you could use that as a wider signal for your other trades as well. Very, very, very simple. The other thing that we use for entries, and then what we use for entries is the RSI. So if the RSI is very high, that's when we will enter. And then we have the average true range, the ATR, that's used to calculate stop losses. That's used to calculate stop losses basically, and perform some other functions as well. So we can see, just to give an example of the profit factor, etc. I'm going to turn off the RSI momentum filter, and you can see how it changes. Let me just regenerate the report. So you can see that the profit factor has gone down a lot. It's still profitable, which is surprising, to be honest. But it's much less. It's much less profitable. We're getting more trades, but it's much less profitable, and the drawdown is worse. So yeah, we've been having the RSI on. There's also a couple of other switches that I've been using, which are for entries and exits. So this is how I test things. I build in switches, and we turn them on and off. Oh yeah, I forgot that this one's actually better not having this on. Oh, wow, buried the lead there. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Yeah, this was one of my discoveries. I was like, oh, what happens if we turn this off? And actually it works way better. Which is totally counterintuitive, because the whole point of this is like, oh, we don't enter trades that are potentially a little bit riskier.
And look at the drawdown.
I know, but actually entering those riskier trades, A, brings more trades, and B, makes them more profitable. Which was very surprising when I discovered this. So you think, okay, well, maybe that works on the exit as well. So let's generate the report. No, not really. That actually made it worse. So that's the funny thing when you make these strategies. You think, oh, is this going to work? Is that going to work? You think something's going to work, and then you backtest it, and you're like, oh, actually, that's worse, and that's better. Oh, that's surprising. And that's why I have all these different switches and things in here. Yeah, so I think this will actually be the final strategy. I'll probably leave some options for tuning if anybody's interested in doing that, but probably the default strategy will be these settings here. And yeah, you can see like even recently, if we go to the list of trades, yeah, and we scroll to the top. So there we go. Where was this one? If I click this as well, it'll take me to the trade in January. Let's see, 2022. Here we go. So that's a 10% profit. Nice. 5% loss. 20% profit, and that's it. 3 trades this year. One big profit, one here. Another decent profit here, and a little bit of a loss here. Yeah, and of course these close on candle close, so you can always get out a little bit sooner if you're paying attention. So yeah, basically I'm going to clean this up, make it a bit more user-friendly. We're going to give it a cool name. I don't know what we're going to call it yet. And this should be going out to our members hopefully next week. Fingers crossed. Because I think the strategy is done. It's just aesthetics now. And yeah, that's it. Angelo, do you have anything to add?
Yeah. Besides this strategy, we are working on so many things right now. We have like
Oh yeah, we've had a strategy in development for I don't know months. And Angelo's deep in the lab with that one. So
Yeah,
once I'm finished with this, we'll be looking at that one.
I think we have like 5 big things are coming out this in a couple of months.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It has to be a bit of a serial process at the moment, so it's one thing and then the next. We can't do it. We can't work in parallel at the moment. So, yeah, it should be a steady stream over the course of the summer of cool stuff.
And also people who are into indices and forex trading. We have a nice indicator in the pipeline that's performing very well on like the euro, US dollar, and so. But we need some little tweaks. Need some tweaking to do, but it's looking very promising. All right.
Okay, thank you everybody.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks everybody who listens. And oh, you're always welcome at bigdoglabs.io.
Sure.
All right.
Check out the new website.
Yeah, new website. Okay. All right. Cheers.
Bye bye.